Empty stomach and hunger are two different things. Hunger means your energy levels start dropping. But empty stomach is a good thing. In the yogic sciences, today modern science also is coming in line with this. Your body and your brain works at its best only when your stomach is empty. So we always make sure we eat in such a way, how much ever we eat, our stomach must be always empty within 2 to 2.5 hours' time maximum. Because any correction and purification that needs to happen in the body, your stomach needs to be empty, it's very, very important. Otherwise, the purification on the cellular level will not happen. You pile up things and then you have all kinds of problems. Sufficient consumption of fruit can do great things to the system. One can become very, very alive and active. But stomach will feel empty within 2 hours' time. So you must get used to hanging on with high energy but empty stomach. This is the time your brain works best. This is the time as a human being you function best, and ecologically it's the most sensible thing to do. Between fruit and meat, for one person to survive, let's say that you have to survive on just meat, an approximate calculation is, we will need 15,000 liters of water. If you go on fruit diet, we will need 300 liters of water. You should. All the rivers will flow once again.
You will be glad to know that when people come to the yoga center with various kinds of ailments, one important part of the treatment is that they must put their hands in the soil and work in the gardens. Engagement with the soil, engagement with the earth is definitely a big force in bringing health and well-being in human life. I hope everybody has a piece of land to do this. Otherwise, there is always other places. We have enough acres if anybody wants to come and spend a week being in touch with the earth and make that into a part of their spiritual sadhana. Because without connection with the earth, which is the basis of our making, there is no health and well-being.
The first thing that's been taught to us is, if food appears in front of you, to hold your hands upon the food for a few moments, just to feel how the food is. If something appears on my plate, if I just feel this, I know what to eat and what not to eat. What I should not eat, I don't taste it and then reject it, I just don't eat. Because my hands are the first level, not tasting in the sense the tongue tastes, but knowing the food. Even if you physically don't touch it, just being conscious and being there, it clearly tells you how the food will behave within you. Whether this particular food on this particular day, should it go into you or not, because every day your body is not the same thing. Every day, every moment it's different. If you feel the food, you just know whether this food has to go into you on this day or not. I'm not telling you eat this way, eat that way, just experiment and see, all right? Just experiment and see. Tonight if you go, instead of eating whatever cooked food, just eat fruits and see. Tomorrow morning you will not need an alarm bell, you will wake up before the alarm bell. What you should do is, today you start 10% natural food, fruits, vegetables, whatever. Tomorrow make it 20%, 30%, like this. In 9 days you'll eat 100%. If you have any physical ailment, stay there for 5 to 7 days. If you're a healthy person, stay there for 1 or 2 days and then cut it by 10% every day, bring it down to 50% and hold it there and see. For most people, it'll work at its best. This is the Amla season, that is the Nallikai for Kannada people, the betted Nallikai. So right now the season is on, not those huge, golf ball kind of amla. That is all hybrid amla, that is also okay if you don't find anything else. But otherwise, what grows in the hills is only this size. You just smash one amla and put a little salt on it and just chew it. You must keep it in your mouth and it's most effective once again in your mouth. It must be just in your mouth for 1 or 2 hours. These simple things will greatly enhance your immune system.
So, the chocolate by itself is not harmful. Unfortunately, you're taking too much of sugar with it. That's the reason why it causes so many problems. If you could eat just chocolate, it is a certain kind of stimulant, a very strange kind of stimulant. It has its positive values. Actually, your brains could work. Really, your brains work a little better if you take in cocoa, not with so much sugar. Sugar spoils the whole game. If you just take in cocoa, if you take in cocoa seeds and chew upon it, once you get the hang of it, it's nice.
There is something called as viruddha ahara. That means, if you eat one thing and put another thing which works opposite to that, then in your system there is a war. You know, digestive process is largely between acids and alkalines and all this stuff. For example, you eat meat which is fatty. If you ate it by itself, it may not cause that much damage. But you ate that with rice and ghee, you call that biryani and you ate it. Now the damage is big because these two things will not go together. This is why any non-vegetarian food and milk-related food were never mixed, because the moment you mix it, it will go opposite to each other and you create a battle within yourself. Honey is one substance on the planet whose chemical composition is very close to that of human blood. Daily consumption of honey can do wonderful things to you. And honey is an extremely good thing to eat, especially if you have children at home. Make honey culture part of your thing. Psychological stability, physical well-being, vitality, all these things can be greatly enhanced simply consuming daily honey. If you have excess fat in your body, if you drink honey with warm water, it breaks down the fat in the system. If you drink it with cold water, it'll give you weight.
So, honey, it has different types of impacts on the system. If it consumed raw, it has one kind of impact. If it is consumed in cold water, it has another kind of impact. If it is consumed in warm water, it's a different kind of impact. We want to consume it in warm water here because we want the system to open up. If you put it into boiling water, some part of honey will turn poisonous. So you should never put it into boiling water, or you should not cook the honey. I know in Western societies, people are making honey cakes and stuff, they're cooking it. If it crosses a certain temperature, then honey will turn poisonous. So it must be put into… like it's in a temperature that is drinkable.